Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be found off my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy ants, then maybe try a few. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, that's why a bear can rest at ease.
Okay, what we're doing is we're mixing up our green paint. If you notice, we've already painted all our white. Now, this has actually got I mixed up the white. What I did is I mixed up if you look right here, I make my own pearl mix. And if you look inside here, you'll see that we got our pearl mix mixed up and ready to paint. Now, what I do with that is I take my pearl. All right, this is raw pearl mix, this is PPG brand. And I mix it with DBC 500 color blender. Now what that is, that's actually an intercoat clear. Okay? And what you do is you mix that with DBC reducer 50/50. So then I added my pearl mix. So I believe I have enough. I got a quart and a half there that I mixed up. What you do is you paint the white first, and then you come back and you put a coat of the pearl mix on top of the white. Now, using that color blender, what that is, that's also a sealer for our white paint. So that's dry as a semi-gloss clear. But you can't sand that, okay? If you look right here, I'll give you a little example. See, you can touch that now. And the paint will be dry. You see what I'm saying? To the touch. But we're still going to clear coat that. So that's already been pearlized, but it's not clear coated. So the reason I did that is so I could back tape it, because if you don't use the color blender as a mixture, you won't be able to take it back off. What you'll have to do is put a clear coat on it, wait till that dries, then come back and clear coat it. So the color blender is actually a big help in doing a two-tone paint job. I've already taped it off at this line here. If you look, I don't know if you can see that, but that's where we're going to go, is right to there. So I've already taped it off. The top will be white, the bottom will be green. There's more green on here, but I still had to do it that way. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the bumper cover, the back bumper cover. I'm going to go ahead and paint that green now too, so it's done. So I got to get the door jambs painted, the bottom of the door jambs. The top's already painted white. I've taped off everything here. I don't want no green overspray getting on our jam on our trunk. And we're going to get it painted. So let me mix up the green. I'm going to paint the green bumper, all the green jams, part of the jams green. And then I'm going to clear coat everything. This paint mixed up over here. And you always use a strainer when you mix your paint, okay? That's a very important procedure, all right? And this paint here, base coat, clear coat, is a 50-50 mix, 50 paint and 50 reducer. So I always use a strainer when I mix it, because the pearl that's in the paint sometimes clogs up, or you might get some old paint. When they mix the paint, it might be old and chunky, and it might not be thoroughly mixed. Or you might have some trash that goes in there with it. It's always important to use a strainer when you mix your paint. Now the guns that I use are, let me get the green paint on, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Alright, we'll let that dry for about 30 minutes. Come take the tape off, all the paper, and put 3 coats of clear on it. And I think it's going to look really nice. Well, we got our green painted, and it looks nice. Until we get to right there. That's right, even professionals fuck up. And don't think I'm not fucking pissed. What happened? Put the paint on too thick, going too fast. Luckily though, that's base coat, clear coat, so the paint dries fast. I went ahead and wet sanded it out. It's all feathered out, smooth. And now we'll go ahead and blend the paint back in, put an overall coat back on it, and get ready to clear coat. But that's what happens when you're working on Sunday, trying to rush things off so you can get the fuck out of here. Okay, so as you see, I got my touch-up gun. Okay, what you want to do is you got to paint this green over white. So I'm going to have to go back because it'll leave a dark spot right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and blend the coat. You can see what I'm doing here. And touch-ups suck, I can tell you that. So I'm blending that in. We got our white back on, see? Now, I'm going to let that dry. I'll come back and I'll put the green on the same way, and then I'll have to put a whole coat of green on it because it'll be darker right there. And I'm going to have to blend it all in, and then we'll clear it. Got paint, it's still wet. So if you look real close in here, if you come in here, you don't want to bump into any of this. It's going to look really, really nice. Come on around here, and we'll look at that bumper over here. Watch. So, we had a minor repair we got fixed right here. Wasn't too happy about that, but it came out real good. The door jambs came out nice. And as you can see, if you look right here, you can see the cutoff where it's going to be white on top, green on the bottom. And I think Blake's really going to like it a lot. That was a big job. That was an all-day job. And I'm glad to go home.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be found off my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy ants, then maybe try a few. The bare necessities of life will come to you.